Hello and welcome to this new edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. RTI appeals pendency coming down every year, says Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. Second BIMSTEC Foreign Ministers Retreat held in New Delhi. United Nations General Assembly adopted resolution on nuclear facilities of Ukraine. The Supreme Court observation about arresting power under Section 19 of the PMLA. IAMA demands further consultation on Karnataka's proposed law for gig workers. Niti Aayog released 4th edition of Sustainable Development Goal India Index 2023-24. In our first news, the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions has announced that the pendency of RTI appeals has been coming down every year, showcasing significant progress in ensuring transparency and accountability in governance. Let's delve into the details of Right to Information Act of 2005. This landmark legislation grants citizens the right to access information under the control of public authorities. Its primary goal is to promote transparency and accountability in government workings, curb corruption, and enhance public participation in the democratic process. The Department of Personnel and Training under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions serves as the nodal agency for implementing the RTI Act. Furthermore, it replaced the Freedom of Information Act of 2002. If we look at its key features, then it outlines the constitution composition and the functions of central and state information commissions. It also mandates PAs to designate central and state public information officers responsible for providing requested information to citizens. An essential component of the RTI Act is the appeal system available to aggrieved persons. If an RTI application is not satisfactorily addressed, an appeal can be made to its first appellate authority, an officer senior in rank to the CPIO or SPIO within 30 days of filing the RTI application. If the first appeal is still unsatisfactory, a second appeal can be made to the Central or State Information Commissioner within 90 days of the first appellate authority's decision. The burden of proof that the denial of a request was justified lies with the CPIO or SPIO, and appeals must be disposed of within 30 days, extendable to 45 days. Notably, the decisions of the CIC or SIC are binding. Now let's look at the achievements of the RTI Act. Its coverage has significantly increased, now including officers like the Chief Justice of India and the Comptroller and Auditor General. An online portal, RTI Online, has been launched to facilitate the easy filing of RTI applications. Most importantly, the pendency of appeals has reduced drastically from approximately 35,000 in 2019-20 to around 23,000 in 2023-24. In conclusion, the consistent reduction in the pendency of RTI appeal is a testament to the effectiveness of the RTI Act and commitment of the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions to transparency and accountability. In our next news, the second BIMSTEC Foreign Ministries Retreat has recently been held in New Delhi. The first edition of BIMSTEC took place in Thailand in 2023. First, let's dive into what BIMSTEC is all about. The Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, or BIMSTEC, is a regional organization established in the year 1997 with the signing of the Bangkok Declaration. It consists of 7 member states, namely Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Nepal and Bhutan. The permanent secretariat is located in Dhaka, Bangladesh. BIMSTEC operates on principles such as sovereign equality, territorial integrity, political independence, non-interference in internal affairs, and peaceful coexistence, among others. It focuses on 7 key areas: trade, environment and climate change, security, agriculture and food security, people-to-people contact, science, technology and innovation, and connectivity. Together, the member states boast a combined GDP of approximately $4.5 trillion in 2022, accounting for about 4.5% of the global GDP. Now, let's talk about the significance of BIMSTEC for India. This organization is crucial for regional cooperation, intersecting India's Neighbourhood First policy and Act East policy. Geostrategically, cooperation in the Bay of Bengal region secures critical lines of communication in the Indian Ocean region and boosts trade. It aligns with India's security and growth for all in the region vision, strengthening maritime cooperation in the IOR. BIMSTEC also has the potential to overcome the deficiencies of SAARC, evolving into a meaningful platform for regional cooperation in South Asia. However, challenges remain. The slow pace of development and inertia in implementing initiatives are notable issues, exemplified by the lack of progress on adopting the BIMSTEC Free Trade Agreement. Meetings have been irregular, with only 5 summit meetings held until 2024, despite plans for biennial summits. Additionally, the stalling of projects like the Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal motor vehicles agreement undermines goals of connectivity and economic cooperation. In conclusion, the second BIMSTEC Foreign Ministers retreat in New Delhi is a significant step towards enhancing regional cooperation and addressing the shared challenges.
Ahead in the news, the United Nations General Assembly made a decisive move for global nuclear safety, adopting a crucial resolution titled Safety and Security of Nuclear Facilities of Ukraine, including the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The resolution comes at a critical time, strongly condemning the Russian Federation's attacks on Ukraine's essential energy infrastructure. These actions, the resolution states, significantly increase the risk of a nuclear accident, posing a severe threat to global safety. The resolution urges all parties involved in the conflict to strictly adhere to international humanitarian law. Central to this resolution are the 7 pillars of nuclear safety and security outlined by the International Atomic Energy Agency. These pillars include robust safety and security systems, radiation monitoring, emergency preparedness, and maintaining a reliable logistical supply chain, all essential components for safeguarding nuclear facilities during conflicts. The resolution also reinforces the 2009 IAEA General Conference decision, which explicitly prohibits any armed attack or threat against nuclear installations, whether operational or under construction. Additionally, it recalls the 1977 Additional Protocol First to the Geneva Conventions, which bans attacks on installations containing dangerous forces such as nuclear power plants, even if they serve military purposes. In summary, this UN resolution represents a unified global effort to prioritize the safety and security of nuclear facilities in conflict zones, highlighting the importance of protecting these critical structures from the dangers of war.
Ahead in the news, in a significant legal development, the Supreme Court of India recently made important observations regarding the arresting power under Section 19 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The observations came during the hearing of the case Arvind Kejriwal versus Directorate of Enforcement. Section 19 of the PMLA grants specific authorities, namely the Director, Deputy Director, Assistant Director, or any other officer authorized by the central government through general or special order, the power to arrest individuals. This arresting power is based on material in possession or a reason to believe, which must be recorded in writing that a person has committed an offence punishable under the Act. If you look at the key takeaways from the judgment, the Supreme Court emphasized that the powers under Section 19 of the PMLA should be exercised judicially and in alignment with constitutional safeguards. The court underscored the necessity for judicial scrutiny of the conditions imposed by the legislature under the PMLA, particularly if the individual arrested challenges their detention. Importantly, the court mandated that the reasons to believe should be furnished to the arrestee, ensuring transparency and accountability. This recent judgment aligns with the earlier rulings related to arresting power under the PMLA. In the case of Pankaj Bansal versus Union of India and others 2023, the Supreme Court highlighted the importance of communicating the grounds of arrest as mandated by Article 22, Clause 1 of the Constitution. Similarly, in V. Senthil Balaji versus State and others 2023, the court reinforced the requirement to record reasons to believe in writing to ensure fairness and accountability. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act or PMLA of 2002 was enacted to combat the criminal offence of legalizing income or profits from illegal sources. The Act enables the government or public authorities to confiscate property acquired through illegally gained proceeds, thus serving as a crucial tool in the fight against money laundering. In conclusion, these judicial observations and rulings collectively reinforce the necessity of exercising arrest powers under the PMLA with caution, ensuring they adhere to constitutional principles and safeguard individual rights.
In our next news, in a significant development, the Internet and Mobile Association of India has called for further consultations on Karnataka's proposed law for gig workers. The draft Karnataka Gig Workers Conditions of Service and Welfare Bill 2024 has provisions that could potentially impact the ease of doing business, according to IAMA. Currently, Rajasthan is the only state to have legislation for welfare of gig workers. The proposed bill includes requirements for mandatory registration, regular updating of databases, and monetary contributions from firms. These measures are aimed at improving the conditions and welfare of gig workers, a group defined under the Code on Social Security 2020 as individuals who earn outside the traditional employer-employee relationship. Gig workers fall into two broad categories: platform-based workers, whose jobs rely on online software apps or digital platforms, and non-platform-based workers, such as casual wage workers in conventional sectors working part-time or full-time. Despite their growing numbers, gig workers face significant challenges, including the lack of safeguards like minimum wage, limited upward mobility within organization, and the absence of traditional employment perks such as medical insurance and pension plans. Balancing social security for gig workers with business interests is a complex task. Proposed solutions include specialized savings and insurance products tailored for gig workers, and collaborative efforts between policymakers, corporations, and workers to create an equitable gig economy. Emphasizing stable income environments over a race to the bottom mentality is crucial. India has already made strides in this area. The Code on Social Security 2020 extends social security benefits to gig workers and proposes a social security fund funded by contributions from aggregators. Additionally, the Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020 promotes safe and healthy work environments, including for contract labor. In conclusion, the discussion around Karnataka's proposed gig worker law underscores the need for a balanced approach that ensures both worker welfare and business viability. In our next news, we delve into a crucial report released by Niti Aayog, unveiling the fourth edition of the SDG India Index for 2023-24. This index is a comprehensive measure of how India's states and union territories are progressing towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The SDG India Index tracks the national progress across 113 indicators aligned with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation's National Indicator Framework. Each state and union territory is scored on a scale from 0 to 100, with a score of 100 indicating that the targets set for 2030 have already been achieved. States and UTs are categorized into 4 groups: achievers with a score of 100, frontrunners 65 to 99, performers 50 to 64, and aspirants 0 to 49. In terms of the key findings, at the national level, there's been notable progress. India's composite score has increased from 66 in 2020-21 to 71 in 2023-24. Significant strides have been made in goals 1, no poverty, 8, decent work and economic growth, and 13, climate action, pushing them into the front-runner category. Particularly, goal 13 saw the highest increase in score, followed by goal 1. Targeted interventions by government like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for goal 11, Swachh Bharat Mission for Goal 6, Ayushman Bharat for Goal 3 has led to rapid improvement. At the state and UT level, all regions have shown an upward trajectory in their scores. The frontrunner category now includes 32 states and UTs. 4 states, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Jharkhand and Bihar, are currently in the performer category. Leading the pack are Uttarakhand and Kerala, each with a score of 79, while Chandigarh tops the union territories. In summary, the fourth edition of the SDG India Index paints a promising picture of India's journey towards sustainable development.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Madras High Court upheld constitutional validity of RBI IOS 2021, prohibiting complainants from engaging advocates to represent their cases in proceedings before Ombudsman. The lawyers only have statutory right and not a fundamental right to appear before judicial and quasi-judicial meetings. Margin trading facility demand is increasing to invest in the stock market. The buyer pays only a part of the total value, while the broker pays the remaining amount, charging an interest on this loan. Its advantages include increased profit potential due to access to more capital. Nuclear deterrence guidelines will deter and respond to North Korea aggression. The US and South Korea created a joint nuclear consultative group in 2023. The agreement calls for integrating US nuclear assets and South Korean conventional weapons to better respond to North Korean nuclear threats. Indian Air Force contingent reached Australia to participate in Exercise Pitch Black. Exercise Pitch Black is held every 2 years. It is a multinational exercise. Furthermore, it focuses on large force employment missions involving large numbers of international aircraft. Scientists from Zoological Survey of India discovered a new species of Squalus hima from Shakti Kulangara fishing harbour in Kerala along Arabian Sea. Squalus is a genus of dogfish sharks in family Squalidae. Unlike most sharks, dogfish are venomous. Study highlights lack of awareness on vulture conservation across species key habitats in Satyamangalam tiger reserves. It was declared as a tiger reserve in 2013. Moreover, it is located in Erode district, Tamil Nadu. Intergovernmental Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services won Blue Planet Prize for 2024. It is awarded annually by Japan-based Asahi Glass Foundation to individuals and organizations to recognize achievements in scientific research and its application, providing solutions to global environmental problems. The prize includes an award of $500,000. International Renewable Energy Certificate represents transferable proof that 1 MWh of electricity was produced from renewable energy sources and added to an electrical grid. International Renewable Energy Certificates enables MNCs to meet the renewable energy consumption quotas across nations with reduced barriers. Mutual recognition agreement between India and Taiwan for organic products has been implemented. This agreement will ease the export of organic products by avoiding dual certifications, thus reducing compliance cost. Researchers at SN Bose National Center for Basic Sciences have found a new method of a single molecule technique to study protein folding and associated chaperones. This could help track progression of diseases like cancer, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solution to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.